Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is, yeah, I forgot what day it was. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Y'all, this has been a long weekend. I'm not even going to play. It was a really long weekend. Um, so long, in fact, that I didn't get a chance to post the stream early, but I still wanted you to see the logo. I've been every week that I've had the weekend recap. I've tried to add. I started out. This was a very generic screen, and with just and you can still see some of the generic pictures in it. Like right below Lucky Seven is one of the generic pictures, and actually just to the right of the Lucky Seven lemonade was one of the uh, generic pictures that were there. Um, you know, it was just this big generic montage that I put together, and then every week I've been replacing one of those images with an image of something that we did or something that went on over the course of that past week. And so there's there's lots of different stuff in there. There's apples, there's a comedian, there's some jam, there's Lucky Seven lemonade, there's the ride for knowledge, there's a fireworks show, blackberries, all sorts of stuff that we did, and we saw and we got to kind of interact with over the course of it. It's kind of like a mini collage of the year. Um, but yeah, so I didn't have a chance to actually get this posted earlier, so I actually just drug it in here and let you look at that for a minute or so before we got started tonight, because I wanted to make sure you got to see it. This has been it's been a really good week, but it was a very busy weekend. So, and a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight is related to that weekend. There was some other stuff that we did. It wasn't all, but it's going to be kind of crazy the amount of stuff that we did that was uh, related to this this weekend. So, but let's just jump right into it, and let's talk about the who we did, or well, what we did and where we did it and all the stuff that we did. And yes, as always, it would not be a week if we didn't make at least one trip to Shadrack's. Um, and I really should have included another. We made it to more than one Shadrack's location. Um, However, I only, um, in all honesty, in order to keep track of all the places that I go, I use Google Maps to track where I'm at so that I can go back and review. And Google Maps is really good when you're driving places, because it sees you move and then it sees you stop. And so then it knows where you stopped, and it'll tell you where you stopped, and then you go and you drive to the next location. Well, it doesn't do that when you're like walking around. So it didn't catch all of the walking around stuff. But yeah, went to the Shadrack's here in Paragould. Uh, we were there this past weekend and I was there a couple of times during the week. Um, Actually, I take that back. We were not at the Shadrack's in Paragould this weekend. Didn't make it to either one of them Saturday uh, because we were in Jonesboro. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I did make it to the West Kings Highway location in Paragould during the early part of the week. On Friday and Saturday, we did go to Shadrack's. Went to the Shadrack's Underground in downtown Jonesboro. Got to see that and got to go hang out there for a little bit. Interestingly enough, I actually ran into to someone that I know that works there, and it was I don't know if you remember this back from this past Christmas. One of the things that I had got Jersey for Christmas was a yarn bowl, which is it's a ceramic bowl, and it has a kind of hook that's kind of carved out of one side of it, and it's the design is so that you put your yarn cake in the middle, and then through that that hook, that little slot that's there in the side of the bowl, your yarn feeds out of that, so it helps keep your yarn in one place and keeps it from getting tangled and lets you feed your yarn out. And it's a very helpful thing and a very useful thing. And Jersey uses it all the time. Well, while I was at the Shadracks in the underground in Jonesboro, I ran into Claire, who is the lovely young lady who actually made the bowl for me. She was the one that actually put the clay on the pottery wheel and made it and turned it and fired it and painted it and did all the and turned it from just a lump of clay into this amazingly useful, functional, and beautiful work that we get to use all the time. So that was really exciting. It was unexpected, but it was still very exciting, and it was a great thing to see. I'm glad I got to see her and visit with her a little bit and um, talk to her about where she's what she's doing, what she's been up to, and things like that, and just kind of catch up a little bit. But it's good to see her. Anyway, so yeah, we did go to Shadrack's. Got a couple of hits of Shadrack's during the course of the week. Um, got my hair cut this past week. I know you can't you tell it's I know still looks about the same, but I didn't get my hair cut. Hair by Lee cut my hair. By the way, in case you're interested, if you're looking for someone to cut your hair, he's recently moved. He was in the Sola salons, and he's now moved to 3800 South Caraway, Suite 24, just like a mile and a half down the road from where he was before. But yeah, he was down there, so I went down there, got my hair cut, and took care of that this week. And then this is the big thing. This was the big thing that we did. So Local Fest was this weekend in downtown Jonesboro, Friday and Saturday, rain or shine. And there was definitely rain. It's really hard when you're planning an outdoor event and you're planning it 9 or so months in advance. It's very hard to, plan for the rando hurricane that's going to decide it wants to fly through town. You try to plan for as many eventualities as you can. That's not really one of them that you can though. So as a result of that, there was a lot of rain, which um, I really think it impacted the turnout. I don't recall there being as much of a turnout this year as there was last year, and I'm sure the rain had a lot to do with it. It made let's just be honest, it just made things not super fun on Friday because we were having to set everything up in the rain, having to rearrange displays and things like that to make sure that they were covered and sheltered so that they weren't getting wet and the products weren't getting ruined and that kind of stuff. And it just kind of, no pun intended, put a damper on the kind of the whole day. Um, but Saturday was a really nice day. It was the weather was pleasant. There was a nice breeze. It wasn't super hot. You wouldn't have been able to tell that by me because I just I sweat like a fountain anyway. But it wasn't an uncomfortable day. There were a few light sprinkles once or twice during the day, but it was like sprinkles for 5 minutes and then gone. Just kind of enough to knock the dust down and raise the humidity a little bit. It was about all it amounted to. But still, it was a great weekend. There was a ton of things. There was a ton of people, a ton of vendors, and musicians and artists and all sorts of people in downtown Jonesboro this weekend. And we got to see and talk to a lot of people. I did not get to interact with all of the vendors that were there. I did try to hit up as many as I could. Um, we did spend a lot of time, really close to the booth, taking care of that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, so didn't get. I roamed a little bit. But not super much. Um, we were set up very close to the main stage, so we got to listen to music, and we were in a good place where we could hear the music, and it was at times loud, but not super loud. So we generally were able to have decent conversations. The Friday lineup starting at 5 o'clock was Ridge Runoff. Then we had Cason's Story and the Misfits. The storyline was later on that evening, Mike Hewitt and the Racket. And then things wrapped up with Joe Bateman and the 870 Boys starting around 10 o'clock and playing until about 11:30. Saturday morning, things started with Glenn Austin doing the national anthem at 11:45. Then REC, Neurologic, Zayden J, which, by the way, if you haven't seen Zayden J, it was great. Just a great performance. It's a young kid who does some Elvis impersonations and stuff like that. Super great performer, very entertaining. Uh, Corey Jackson was there. And then March of August ended the first half of the day. They were followed by the Last Monarchs of the Fall. Native Strangers were there at 6. The Studio 32 Dance Extreme team was there. Hank Nightshade and the Midnight Suns. That was really exciting for me. I haven't seen Hank in 8-10 months. It's been a while since I've been able to see him, and we were able to visit for a little while and catch up and talk to him for a little while. The Gravel Yard played from 8:45 to 9:30, and then at 10 o'clock, Mountain Sprout kicked off, and they played for about an hour and a half and closed out the event there on the main stage. So got to listen to a lot of great music and a lot of a wide variety of music over the course of the 2 days, and really enjoyed that, and enjoyed being able to get in to meet and interact with people and things like that. I did get to see Cosmic Collective. They were not on the main stage, but they were over on Union Street in the Union Street Pavilion, right next to the United Way, and kind of between the United Way and the where they had the carnival set up. Cosmic Collective was set up there on Friday night. So while we were doing our breaking down everything and loading the cars, loading everything up at the end of the night, we were able to listen to Cosmic Collective on Friday night. And then I got to see my friends at Inside Marcellus Wallace. They were at the I don't remember the name of the stage they were on. It was a stage all the way down at the far end of Main Street, right in front of Cregan's. They were on that stage there, and it was just kind of an accident that I happened to be able to see them because I was actually heading up that direction to get something to drink, and Lucky Seven Lemonade was not far from there, and I was going to Lucky Seven Lemonade to get something to drink. So I got to see them, listen to them play about a half a song before I started, making my way back. But it's good to see him. Like I said, lots of talented musicians. If you've ever listened to any of the DJ Taint podcast, I think I probably say that just about every week, if not every week, that there is a lot of talented musicians in and around Northeast Arkansas, and we are in some ways a little bit spoiled because of the depth and the breadth of the musical talent that exists in this area. There were a lot of places to eat, and we ate at several of them. We also checked out some of the places that were downtown. And Friday night, dinner was the Rice Box. We were set up not far from the Rice Box. We were actually we were, and I made notes. We were right in front of the Sahara Rose boutique, or not boutique, Sahara Rose Realty. And yeah, that's where our booth was. So we were just a couple of doors down from the Rice Box, and it's been a while since we had the Rice Box, so it seemed like a really good place to go for dinner because it was quick, it was easy. We knew they were going to have good stuff there, and didn't have to do a lot of walking in order to get to it. There were a lot of vendors there, and like I said, I didn't get to make it to all of them. I wasn't able to to go visit all of them, but I did get to see quite a few of them. Slater's Alaskan Dumplings, great story with these guys. This is a story about a guy who literally he was in Alaska and he learned how to make these Alaskan dumplings, and then he moved back to Batesville and opened a place there selling these dumplings, and then um, he met these other folks, and these other folks were trying to they really liked it, and they're like, well, why don't you have you considered moving to Jonesboro? Have you considered putting a space in Jonesboro? Long story short, and they tell the story much better than I am. But they liked the dumplings so much that they bought the business. So now they have the Batesville location. They're in the process of working on getting into a location here in Jonesboro as well. And yeah, the dumplings were fantastic. They were delicious. So if you get a chance and you see Slater's Alaskan dumplings around, make sure you go check them out because they're really good. Squatch Candies was set up right next to us. Got to see, got to visit with them for a little bit. They have a lot of freeze dried candies and stuff, and we kind of talked as we were putting the tents in and the sides up and dodging the rain and stuff like that. And really nice people. They're just getting started. This was, I think, their second uh, the second show that they'd been to, and so they're just getting their feet wet and starting to get going. And I hope they had a good weekend. Um, and I hope they have incredible fortune moving forward. Spotted that crystal lady while I was out walking around. MTT Creations was not far from us. I saw her. Did not stop and get a cotton candy wrapped pickle, but I do remember them from when she was up at um, man. Names are not my friend tonight. Uh, Brooklyn at the Head Dairy, and I can't remember the name of that show. We'll talk about it a lot, so you'll hear about it. I can see the picture for the logo with the. Oh, this is killing me. Oh, this is. I gotta look it up because this is just driving me crazy. Wow, talk about a brain fart. Pine Log Market. Yeah, crazy that I could not remember that name. But yeah, I remember MTT Creations from up at Pine Log Market, and it was good to see her again. Uh, Board Skate Company was there. They were set up right there at the intersection of Main and Huntington. Had a little rail out there, and they were doing some demonstrations of some different skateboard tricks and stuff like that. Uh, they had several decks there. If you wanted some decks, they had some other merch and that kind of stuff. So they were there. The Arkansas Army National Guard was set up. They had a one of those test your strength punching bags. Punch it and see how hard you could. See what kind of score you'd get. It was good to see them. Amethyst Aura spotted them while they were there as well. They were actually two booths down from us on the other side. So we had Squatch Candies on one side, and then we had she's on the next page, and then Amethyst Aura just down from that. Lucky Seven Lemonade, mentioned them a little bit earlier. They were there, had several lemonades and strawberry waters from Lucky Seven over the course of the couple of days. Jones Snack Shack was there. Uh, got some. I got a pickle. Got a root beer float. The pickle was for me. The root beer float was for Jersey. I wasn't mixing the two of those together. Although don't tempt me, I would probably try it. I still haven't tried. Everybody's been talking about the pickles and the Dr Pepper, and I still haven't tried that, which is really surprising considering how much I like pickles and like Dr Pepper. So I mean, yeah. So pickles and a root beer float would not be that far out of the realm of things I would be willing to try for sure. Um, but yeah, I got those from Jones Snack Shack. Campfire Pizza was set up. They for them it was kind of a they almost had like an extension because Campfire Pizza you can find them on a regular basis down at Huntington Square, and so they only had a couple of blocks to come up to be set up there on Main Street, but they brought a couple of their pizza ovens up there, and they were actually cooking and selling uh, pizza right there on Main Street. And kudos to them. I thought this was just super amazing. And um, now I should say two things. One, Campfire Pizza is delicious. If you haven't tried it, you definitely should. They have some very very delicious pizza, some unique flavor combinations, and I haven't had anything bad from there in any of the times I've been there. Um, I've been to they when they had the Paragould location. We were at the Paragould location like every other week. Um, but yeah, delicious pizza from Campfire Pizza. But not only that, so they brought their pizza up and they were cooking pizza. Well, not only did they bring their regular stuff up, one of the things that we go to Campfire Pizza for is because they have a gluten-free pizza crust. They have a cauliflower crust, and to this outdoor event where they're like cooking things on the side of the street. Kudos to them. They actually brought some of their cauliflower crusts up there with them, so we were able to order a cauliflower crust chicken bacon ranch pizza to eat and get that. And that was lunch on Saturday, and that was just really awesome. Um, I know it is not uncommon for places that have like a brick and mortar and a mobile um, you know food option that they have a more limited selection when they go to events and stuff like that. And there's lots of reasons for that. It's more efficient. You have less space and lots of things. But it was just really awesome that they actually took the time and they were um, you know cognizant of that possibility, and they brought some of their cauliflower crust pieces. So thank them very much for that. That was super awesome. uh, Got to be baked. uh, they they have a waffle truck, and it was interesting because I had never thought of that before. It's really a kind of a cool concept. Um, if I hadn't been so busy and hyper focused on working so much, probably I would have loved to stop there for breakfast on Saturday morning, but I wasn't able to. Um, Unfortunately, I didn't get to try any of their food. The only thing that I did get from them was a couple bottles of water, and this is like free market. This is going to sound like a complaint, and in a way, it a little bit is. Um, I also understand how free market economics work. And, in the absence of competition, you set the prices to be whatever you want. Those are the most expensive two bottles of water that I got the entire weekend that I was there. I paid $3 a piece for two 16-ounce bottles of water. Was not super excited about that, but I paid it anyway because it was the only option, and I was hot and I was thirsty, and it was late at night, and I wanted to get something to drink so that I could push through the last couple of loads I needed to go to put in the car to leave Saturday night. Um, I do want to go back and try their food though. Steel and Stitches was there. We set up and we got to be there and visit with a lot of people over the course of a couple days. Spotted the leaf filter gutter protection guys. They were there set up for a while. Um, all the rain might have been really a good selling point for them. Talking about gutters and keeping all of the gunk out of the gutters. I probably need to talk to those people. I have some big pine trees in the backyard, and yeah, at least once a year, I have to either climb up or coerce someone to climb up a ladder and dig the sludge out of my gutters. Kristen's Customs. She was the one that was right next to us. It was her, and then it was Amethyst Aura was on the other side of her. Kristen's Customs was there. If you saw the Facebook post that I made with the miniature Stanley mug. Got that from Kristen. That was super cool. She was there and really, really nice. We had some great neighbors. Honestly, I don't think at any of the events we've ever been to, we've ever had any bad neighbors, just to be honest about it. Vaughn's Pit Stop Barbecue had dinner. Yeah, we had dinner there. Yeah, because we had pizza for lunch. We had barbecue for dinner on Saturday from Vaughn's Pit Stop Barbecue. Grabbed a big loaded nachos and a half rack of ribs and chowed down on that. That was really good. Spotted Code Fusion there as well. And then I didn't, uh, these guys were just set up just like 3 or 4 booths up on the opposite side of the road from us. I could see them from where I was all day. Didn't get a chance to go over and talk to them, and I kind of wish I had. It just didn't work out that way though. We are 22 was set up there, and really appreciate them and the work that they do uh, to support our military and our veterans, and help them deal with some of those issues in a way that only somebody who's been there, done that, can actually understand and appreciate and really fully relate. So I appreciate the work that they do, and kind of um, I'm sad that I'm kind of sorry that I didn't get a chance to go up and talk to them while I was there. Um, if you haven't been to Scoops on Main Street, it's this little ice cream shop that's right in the middle of Main Street. It's like 2 doors down from the Rice Box, so it was not far from where we were either. If you get a chance to go there, check them out. They have some really great flavors. Blue Bunny ice cream that is available, and they're very, very reasonably priced. A couple of great guys that were working that night, super friendly and easy to get along with. I had a nice conversation with them while they were taking care of the people in front of us, and taking care of our order as well. And yeah, it was so yeah, I got some ice cream in the evening to provide a little bit of a cooling refreshment uh, as well. I forgot to I spotted them. I didn't see them on the slide earlier, but they're actually here on this slide. That right hand column, third one down, 20 side up, have their business card. They were set up across the uh, just like almost directly across the street from us. They do custom designed, painted boxes that you can use for things like storing your gaming supplies, your dice and things like that, and you can use them to store the dice in there, and you can also roll the dice in them as well, so that your dice don't go flying all over when you're playing games and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, all of them are custom painted and refurbished, and uh, really, really cool boxes. So if you get a chance, you should definitely go check out 20sideupdesign.etsy.com. Really, really cool stuff. Some other things that I don't have. Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Uh, some other uh, I didn't catch like all the names for everybody. There was a drone guy there who did a lot of drone footage for the event. He had at least 2 different drones that I know of. He may have had 3, but I know I spotted at least 2 different ones, and he'd have them fly up and down Main Street and around and stuff, and he would have them fly around the stages when the different acts were performing on the stages and stuff like that. Uh, it's really cool because if you kind of, as you're standing in one spot, you just kind of see these drones just like zipping by, and it's kind of impressive to watch because they're going through there and they're like dodging different things and stuff. It's not like they weren't real high up. They were probably running about 10 feet off the ground, and weaving kind of in and out to get some really good shots of things that were going on. I was talking about the the uh, the board company, with the skateboards and the skateboard tricks and stuff like that, and he was actually flying the drones in circles around the guys on the skateboards while they were doing some of their tricks and stuff, getting shots like that. But yeah, he does the whole thing in VR. So you'll see him. He's standing there. He's got a backpack on, and he's got his controller in his hand, and he's got VR goggles on. So he's actually flying. He's watching. That's how he can manage to maneuver that as accurately as he is because he's actually watching from the drone's perspective, where he's going and what he's doing. So it was really cool. He did a really great job. Um, I know you'll see a lot of drone people that are out flying around that are less than professional. We'll just leave it at that. But he was very professional and very conscientious in everything that he's doing. Even when he was flying in what you might have thought was a little close, he was very much in control and knew what was going on and was right there and ready to respond to anything. Um, Rebecca Worthington did photography. She does a lot of photography for A State and captures a lot of the sports for A State. And she was downtown uh, taking pictures of the bands and capturing crowd moments and things like that as well. That was really cool to see that. There was a street painter that was wandering around that you might have happened to catch. Her name's Trash Pandia, and she would set up near the stages and do these impromptu um, paintings of the bands while they were on stage, or maybe catch like a group in the audience, and she would just try to capture the energy and the emotions of the event and try to transfer that from into paint on canvas. And her work was really fantastic, um, and it was really cool. We got to see that. Actually has one of my some friends of ours actually got one of her paintings, and they're going to take it home and put it in their studio. So it was really cool to see. Brandid was there. I don't know if they were. I missed them. Brandid's kind of going through a transition, so Brandid is actually going to be the online shop side of the business, and then there's a new name for the pop up stores. So it's going to be um, Shayla is going to be there. There's also going to be some other people that are going to be there with her. So it's not all her, but yeah, they kind of have a dual role going on now. And I didn't catch the name of the business they were on, but they were there. They stopped by. We had ordered some new Steel and Stitches T-shirts a while back, and she brought them to us at the market. So it was good to see her this weekend and got to stop and visit with her a little bit and get those shirts. So that was really great, and appreciate that, and thank her for doing that. It was, like I said, it was good to see her again. There was a guy, and I say a guy. There was a husband and wife, and I want to say um, probably one of their children. But there was I think three of them that were there, and they did a lot of 3D printed stuff, and they actually had some little tiny, like about the size of my thumb, 3D printed axolotls, and they were just super cute. So I had to grab a couple of those. I have their business card. It's in the bag along with the axolotls, and I'm reasonably certain that it's still packed up in a box somewhere. Um, I went looking for it really quickly right before the live started, and I didn't find it. So I'm sure it's around somewhere, but I couldn't find it, and I hate that I don't remember what their name is. But yeah, they were there. There's also a shaved ice place that had that I went and I got some. There was two shaved ice places actually. Um, One I went to actually had a name almost like had something to do with pets or something, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But the shaved ice was really good. We got the one called, and and this is great because, and it's kind of funny. Um, I took this picture, and yeah, that's not super. Wow, as much in blue as there is in that picture, it's really screwing with the rest of the color key for the rest of it. But anyway, I took this picture to remember the flavor. And yeah, so I got the flavor, but not the name of the business. It's we had the Ocean Breeze, which is blue raspberry, vanilla, and lemon, and it was quite tasty. Lots of things to drink and uh, cool us off as we were going through the day because, like I said, it was a pleasant day, but it was um, because we had the sides up on the canopy uh, to make sure that we kept the rain out and things like that. It didn't allow for a lot of air to flow through, and because of that, it got kind of warm and a little stuffy under the canopy. So yeah, we're just making sure we were staying hydrated and staying cool as best we could. So we're getting cool drinks, cold drinks and shaved ice and things like that during the day, and would absolutely be um, remiss if I didn't mention, and I'm gonna. This is going to sound really bad. I can't remember his name. I want to call him Logan, and that's probably completely wrong because I'm convinced that's his name, which is why I'm pretty sure that's probably completely wrong. Um, but Stacy, whose name I do have because she was the one sending out the email, so I do have Stacy. I have her name, and Logan. Would like to thank them for their help in coordinating everything, putting everything together. Logan's kind of the key to that. He puts it all together, and he's the one that does and he does it. It's a volunteer thing that he does. He's not getting paid to do this, but he's still the event organizer for local fests. And we had a couple of conversations, and um, he asked me near the end of the day. He's like, "Do you hate me?" And I'm like, "No. I mean, I'll admit I was kind of cranky, but no, I don't hate him. I know he has an extremely rough job to do, and I know that when I was talking to him, he probably hadn't heard a lot of positive things because that's unfortunately kind of part of it that everybody goes to him to gripe. So he gets to, kind of feel the brunt of everything and everybody. Um, and yeah, but when we went to him with a concern, he was able to take care of it, and I do appreciate that, and I do appreciate the position that he's in, trying to make it work. So, yeah, to them, thank you for their work and organizing it. I know it's not easy, and I know it's a task, and I also know it doesn't happen overnight. Um, I know that putting on an event like this, if you're going to do it and do it well, um, yeah, it's 9 months worth of effort. You kind of everything runs up, and you kind of see it's kind of like when you were in school and you were putting on a school play. The whole community comes out and watches the play, and they see an hour and a half event that you were practicing for 8 weeks. So it's everybody sees that final piece, but they don't actually see all the effort and energy that went into it behind it. They finished this event. They'll probably take a couple of months off, and then I anticipate that probably around December, January, they're going to be back at it, planning for Local Fest 6. So definitely a lot of work goes into that, and um, I appreciate the effort. I do know that's a lot of work, and I actually told him that I had a couple of ideas and some suggestions for him. So I'm going to send him an email, and he knows it's coming. And I said, it's not. This is not a. And I'm telling you this so that you can hold me accountable. But this is. I'm not going to send him a gripe fest. It's not going to be just an email to complain about everything that's wrong and everything that I think he did bad and blah blah blah. That's not what it is at all. Um, but I did see a couple of things where um, I think that maybe some small tweaks might help with efficiency and be able to help make the events overall run smoother. So I told him I was going to send him an email with some of those ideas and let him mull them over and do with them what he will. Excuse me. Yeah, when I'm sitting at work at my desk, you're hearing it now, but sitting at my desk, yeah, it's like down in the corner of the screen, you've got that, you know, that little, oh, excuse me. There's that little kind of like news feed little ribbon that sits down there. And mine has for like the last 2 weeks said, "Hi, pollen," just about every other day. And while I appreciate the notification, I really don't think that I needed it. I was pretty sure I knew that there was a lot of suspended particulate matter in the atmosphere at the current time because it has been driving my sinuses crazy for, yeah, 2 to 3 weeks now. Between the slight, as the season starts to change and you start having, you uh, that different cycle of plants that are coming up, which is, the pollen is coming up as they're going through that part of their reproductive cycle, and you've got the defoliant over the cotton fields and the burning of the rice fields and all the other stuff. So yeah, there's been a lot of stuff in the air lately, and it's an adventure every day. Anyway, so let's jump back into this real quick because we kind of just I wanted to like I said, I didn't have time to get slides for everybody, and I had a few notes, and I wanted to make sure that I got that stuff to talk to. So, but anyway, so where we left off on the slides, and there's not many left. I actually think there's only one, maybe two left. Yeah, there's one. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we only had one slide left, and that was that on Sunday, we went to Scooters and got some refreshments from Scooters and took the puppers for a little car ride and let them get a treat while they were there too. So they were pretty excited about getting the pup cups, and the ladies at the Scooters seemed to really enjoy seeing the puppies. So they got to say hi to the dogs. The dogs got to get a little treat, and we got to get some refreshing caffeine to make it through the day. Because yeah, I'll be honest, it was a pretty long and rough day, a rough weekend, very very long days. So, but we made it through it, and then we'll go do something else anyway. So, like I said, yep, that was the last slide, and so we were right there. Yeah, this is like I said, this is the weekend recap, and then there, right there in the top, almost in the middle, is the local fest badge. That was the one that was added for this week. So uh, lots of cool stuff that we got to see and do, and lots of people that we got to meet over the course of this weekend. Um, Overall, it was a good time. Like I said, there were some bumpy parts, but it was a good time, and I'm glad we got to be there. And now we'll get ready for the next thing, which is coming up this Saturday. You can catch Steel and Stitches out at the Paragould Farmers Market. But we'll talk more about that on Thursday, along with all the other stuff that's going to be coming up in and around the area over the course of the next couple of weeks, and looking at some events that are coming up a little farther down the road. So, but that's it for tonight. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me so much tonight. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you again on Thursday. Until then, you guys have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Looks like the rain's out of here. We're going to have some sunshine and a little bit warmer weather over the next couple of days. So enjoy the sunshine, and we will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.